The afternoon sun beat down on the little roadside garage, the kind most. People passed without a second glance. Inside, her hands were blackened with grease, her shirt damp with sweat. Claire had spent the entire day trying to keep her failing business alive, fixing one stubborn engine after another. That's when a battered military green pickup limped into the lot, its engine coughing, as though it was on its last breath. The man who stepped out wasn't just tired. He was desperate, and Claire, despite her own troubles, made a decision that would change everything. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The soldier's face was weathered, his uniform old and patched, the insignia barely visible. He explained he had just returned from duty. His truck was his only means to reach his family waiting 3 states away, and his wallet was almost empty. Claire hesitated. She needed money. Bills were piled high on her desk. Her landlord had already threatened eviction. Yet something in his voice, low, steady, tinged with exhaustion, cut through her defenses. She told him not to worry. She'd handle it, free of charge. The soldier's eyes widened in disbelief, then softened with quiet gratitude. For hours, Claire worked, until her fingers ADHD. She scavenged spare parts from her own shelves, tinkered, adjusted, coaxed life back into the truck. When the engine finally roared, the soldier gripped her hand firmly, eyes shining. I'll never forget this, he said. Then he drove off into the fading light. She thought she'd never see him again. She was wrong. Days bled into weeks. Claire's debts grew heavier. At night, she replayed that soldier's words, wondering if kindness had been a luxury she couldn't afford. Neighbors whispered that she was foolish, that no good deed went unpunished. Yet deep inside, she refused to regret helping him. Sometimes late at night, she'd step outside the garage, listen to the lonely wind, and whisper, "Did it matter? Did it reach you?" One morning, a low rumble echoed down the quiet street. Not the sputter of an old truck this time, but a steady, thunderous growl that shook the ground. Claire stepped outside, shielding her eyes against the glare of headlights. Then she froze on a massive flatbed army trailer rolled to a stop right outside her garage. Dust rose around it, shimmering in the morning sun. Soldiers climbed down, boots striking the pavement in perfect unison. The entire neighborhood gathered, murmuring in awe, their whispers crackling like fire in dry grass. To tea the center stood the very man whose truck she had repaired. But this time he wasn't weary. He stood, tall, uniform crisp, the authority in his presence undeniable. With a sharp motion, he signaled. The soldiers pulled a heavy torque from the trailer, revealing brand new equipment, industrial tools, lifts, compressors, everything her struggling garage had needed for years. The crowd gasped. Claire's knees trembled. Her lips parted, but no words came. The soldier stepped forward, his voice strong enough to carry over the stillness. When you fixed my truck, you didn't just help a man. You honored every soldier who's ever come home with nothing but hope. Today we honor you. Applause erupted from the neighbors. Some wiped their eyes, others clapped, until their palms stung. Claire, overwhelmed, pressed her grease-stained hands against her mouth as tears streaked down her face. She realized then that kindness was not a debt. It was a seed, and seeds, no matter how small, grow in places we least expect. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. And in that small garage where once there had only been silence and struggle, the sound of new machines and laughter filled the air, echoing the promise she had once whispered to the wind as so What do you think? Would you have done what Claire did, even with Bill stacked? Hi, let me know in the comments. And if this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe because hey, kindness always. How's the last?